What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Good Vibes Only. I've had this shirt since middle school. You can't even get on my level. This video, I'm gonna be talking about 5 different things that I've experienced over my course of cooking. It's gonna feel a little disjointed for the first one because I split it up in 2 different parts and I deleted the first part on accident. I don't remember what I said to segue into the part that you're gonna see, but all you need to know is I was mashing potatoes, never mashed potatoes before, so, I read it. I got HelloFresh is what I cook with, and HelloFresh sends you ingredients and things that you may need. So I look at it, I see, oh, I need a strainer and a potato masher. A potato masher can double as a meat tenderizer if you are strong enough, I guess. So I get the potato masher, and then, I know you're supposed to mash it. I grabbed it. I know you're supposed to mash the potatoes, but I didn't know if you're supposed to, I don't know what you're supposed to do. It doesn't mash potatoes. Their instructions or recipes don't tell you how to do anything. So I thought on some boxer stuff, you just get it and you just start beating it up. So I'm just over here doing combos on it, just and until I was getting lazy and I accidentally pushed in and I realized it oozed through. Now I'm thinking, for it to ooze through like that, it's meant to be. There's no way it just, because before it was just barely coming through halfway, but I pushed down and it just oozes. And I was like, let's go. That's a path. That's a perfect way. So then from there, I just started pressing down, putting some tender love and care into it. On a side note, if you know me, I tangent a lot. I always make it worth it. I'm cooking with my friend's grandparents, and I'm mashing potatoes there, weeks later, almost a month later. So I'm cooking with them, and I'm thinking, all right, gotta go slow, gotta let the food know I care for it. I care for who's about to eat it. So I'm putting my elbow into it. I'm like, I love you, you matter. So, and then my dude's grandpa was like, hey, hurry up, chop, chop. I'm looking at him like, what do you mean? Of course I may be going slow, but I'm putting that elbow grease into it. How else am I supposed to make it worthwhile? Also, that I think another time I was frying chicken for the first time. I need to make another topic about that. I'm done with the potatoes, by the way. I was frying chicken, that was my first time dealing with chicken in that kitchen. The grease was popping me and I was like, I was acting like a punk because I ain't really cooked that much. So I wasn't used to the grease popping. I'm still not, but it's whatever. So I'm over here. They're like, you gotta get the raw chicken, roll it in the flour, and then put it in the grease or whatever. Now I didn't handle the grease, but I was handling rolling the flour. And once again, you may not be able to tell with these videos, but I'm something of a perfectionist. So I'm like, okay, I can still see some blood, some raw meat on here. It's not all floury. So I'm putting the tender love and care into it. My dude's grandpa's like, hey, pick it up, grandma. Dude is married to a grandma, calling me a grandma. So I'm like, ain't no way. So I'm trying to pick up the pace. Let me get this out of the way. I'm trying to pick up the pace, just trying not to miss a spot. Because I don't want to oh, you missed a spot. So I'm over here just rolling it. And he just says, oh, that's good enough. And he takes it. I'm like, bro, come on. All right. Next topic. So with HelloFresh, they send you a lot of onions. Maybe I should say I'm allergic to them because I don't really like onions like that. They give you bad breath, garlic as well. Garlic can soak through your pores. Once again, on another tangent, it can soak through your pores, and that's just well, I don't eat garlic because I'm not trying to smell like I hate vampires or something. It's Team Werewolf, but I'm not trying to smell like I hate vampires. So I'm just over here they send us a lot of onions, so I'm cutting it. I don't know why I said us, it's just me. I'm not a symbiote. I'm cutting a lot of onions, white onions. And I'm like, dang, I don't really want to use too much because, well, I don't like onions. I don't really like the taste. And I bite it and I instantly feel guilty because I'm like, that's a whole onion I just bit into. And I'm gonna have to brush my teeth if I plan to talk to anybody who I don't live with. And so one time they sent me a red onion. I call it a purple onion because it's purple. Why is it called a red onion? Somebody please let me know. It's purple. Anyway, I cut it like I always do. You know, apparently the wrong way. I cut like the butt or the eye off, and then I just chop it regular. And I was on the phone with my nephew, while I'm cooking. I had the pods in, no apple, and my nephew was on the phone with me, and it's been years since I like teared up past like 4 tears. Like I haven't been able to cry, like cry in a while. I shed like a couple tears and go on about my business. Not on some like I'm a macho man, but on some like I just don't tear up. I don't shed tears like that. So I'm on the phone with my nephew. One of my roommate, they're in the living room, and I'm on the phone with them. I'm not trying to look like a punk visually, and I'm not trying to sound like a punk to my nephew. So the vapors or whatever from the red onion start getting into my eyes, and I feel it stinging. I felt the white onion sting a little bit, but I just went on about my business because, I ain't no punk. So with that red onion, I'm just sitting here, and I'm like thinking to myself, oh man, what's going on? Is this really happening? So I'm like trying to figure out like, what do I do? I'm not trying to tear up and look like a punk. So I'm cooking, and I just start like fanning my eyes like I'm a girl crying in a movie or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, my eyes are tearing up. So I'm just over here like fanning my eyes. I still have to cook though. So I'm like, I start blinking, looking up, fluttering my eyes. Nothing. It's not working. And I'm telling my nephew like, hey bro, I might have to hang up because it's still stinging and I'm tearing up. And I'm also concerned because I haven't teared up like that in years. So I'm like, even whenever I'm like super sad, it's just 2 tears. And I'm like, dang, that hurts. So like me actually tearing up, I was like, whoa, this hasn't happened in a while. What does this feel like? I couldn't remember. So I'm like, hey bro, I might have to hang up on you or something. I don't know. Hey, could you look up what to do if your eyes are stinging from onions? Hey bro, please man. And he's like, I don't know why I didn't do it. One, I guess because I'm cooking. He's just chilling, and he like doesn't look it up. And I'm like, hey bro, but for real though, could you look it up please? And he looks it up. He doesn't find anything. So I'm over here just like, I'm not sniffling. I'm dramatizing it for YouTube. Anyway, that's just me crying about onions. Next topic. So, my dad, growing up, he made these burgers, called them DFBs. Now, I'm gonna leave it right, Dad's famous burgers. But after that, I'm not gonna explain how they're made. That's a trade secret. I don't even know 100% how it's made. So I'm over here just like, okay. He let me like in on it one time, I guess because I'm like a grown man by now. Now I'm not even gonna put that in quotations because like 300 years ago I'd be middle aged. That's a lie. But I'd be like a grown man, I got my own family by now. So I guess that's why he let me in on the secret. So I'm over here like, oh yes sir, I'm learning the trade. So I get home, I get to my place, and I'm like, I'm gonna make me some turkey burgers because beef, that's not really healthy for you, and I'm sort of health conscious. I don't drink sodas anymore, and I only drink purified water. I drink a lot of water, so I'm like a healthy guy. So I come out here, I go to Walmart, I'm looking for them patties, like actual patties, like it's beef for turkey. They don't have that. You gotta get the ground turkey and then, make your own patties. So I'm over here, I do it reluctantly because I wanted to, just do the lazy life and just put it on there. Oh, it's cooked. Put it on there. So actually, this is basically what I did after I like split it into 2 burgers. So I had a pound of turkey, a pound of ground turkey, and I just separated it and made 2 burgers. So I ate 2 half-pound turkey burgers. Now they'd be good because I barbecued them with regular sauce, and another trade secret, I did Chick-fil-A sauce. Another secret, I didn't really taste it, but maybe that's because all I tasted was just plain turkey. Because like I said, my dad, he's really good at like barbecuing ribs. Is steak barbecue? I think he just cooks steak. So, burgers, ribs, steak, chicken. He's been doing that for years, decades. So I'm like, okay. And I'm not on his level, but he taught me a little bit. I know a thing or two. So I get up there, I put the patties on there. He even got me a griddle skillet. So you know, I'm really about it. So I put the patties on there, and then I'm like, okay, it's been enough time. The patties aren't really, I like my meat well done, but they weren't like really well done. But by the time I noticed that they weren't well done, one of the patties already like fractured off because I didn't like make it tight enough. I've never made my own patties before, so I don't know the technique. One of my patties is just falling apart, so I'm trying to like not reach my hand in there and get singed. So with the spatula, I'm just like, get on there. And then like I press down on it. And then the other half is just like segmenting, it's splitting. So I'm just like, what do I do? And I could tell things was splitting off. It wasn't 100% well done. I didn't want to set off the smoke alarm, or I'm like a self-conscious guy when it comes to like cooking or doing anything new. So I'm a self-conscious guy when it comes to like trying new things. So when I'm cooking and I have to turn on the overhead fan, I don't want it to go on for too long because they probably won't, but I don't want my roommates to be like, gosh, he's taking forever. That thing is like super loud and I can't even hear my show. So I'm like, okay, it's not well done, but it's like basically there. It's definitely not bleeding. I'm not a barbarian. I'm not a savage beast. So, you know, it's got some pink. So I'm out here just like, okay, no, I'm not gonna tell you how if you don't know. But that's when I barbecue the burgers. And then, you know, I finished barbecuing them and I put them, I didn't have any buns. So I had to use like this regular sliced bread. The best thing since Betty White. I had to use regular sliced bread. So I put the patty on there. You already know I cooked the cheese on there because like I like cheeseburgers, not just turkey, not just hamburgers. So you know I had to cook the cheese on there. So I take my bite. I'm all excited. I'm like, yes sir. I barbecued my own food. Let's go. I think I'd be like chips or fries or something. So I'm like, let's go. So I go, ah. And then I realized I forgot to season the meat. When I remembered to season the meat, everything was already cooked. So imagine seasoning cooked food. What are you doing? You're just, well, I guess that's how it goes if you like get it on your plate. But I'm talking about like while it's on the grill, before you serve it, you get the all seasoning or whatever and you just flip it over, same thing. Well, I already barbecued the burgers, so it's not going anywhere. The progress is flawed. My method is just garbage. So I'm over here like, what do I do? So I put it back on after I realized, oh, I just seasoned it 2 minutes ago. It didn't cook in. My sauce is falling off. And I bite it again. And I'm talking to my nephew. I think I'm still talking. Yeah, he calls me a lot. So he calls me and I'm like eating it. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to finish this. This is one of the blandest foods I've ever had. Like the sauce was kicking, don't get me wrong. But unseasoned meat, ugh. So I'm crying internally because I made it, so I'm gonna eat it, but it's not good. So I'm just over here internally sniveling and just, hey bro, I don't want to eat this. I kind of want to like throw it away, but I can't because I made this food for tonight. And you know, I'm not trying to, one reason I got HelloFresh is because one, I don't know what to make all the time, and two, I'm actually like tearing up. I should go into acting. And two, I don't want to go to the grocery store every now and then all the time, even though I still do. I don't want to go all the time and spend like $100 on groceries and then go, that's it for the week. I'll see you next week, and then have to do it again. Because like, I'm not trying to have instant meals, even though HelloFresh is not instant. I'm gonna let you know, it takes some time. It's like actually cooking, because it is. You've seen the commercials, you've seen the ads. So I'm not trying to have like them TV dinners. I'm trying to, you know, get some creases in my chef's hat. So that's why I got HelloFresh. So I'm over here like, dang bro, I don't want to eat it, but I got to. And he's like, I'm sorry man, that sounds tough. I know that sucks. And it did. And I reluctantly ate it, all of it, unseasoned. That was my cultural exchange. I didn't even realize. Like I said, I took notes. This video is gonna be a long one for like a new channel, so I hope you guys watch it. Stick to the end. My fourth one is sweet potatoes for the spicy maple chicken. So I don't think just me naming it explains it. So this is what it is. Now this is the chicken. I'm not trying to demean your intelligence. This is the chicken. It looks like asparagus, but it's green beans. And they were good, also cold. And this is the maple chicken. Now, this right here is the side, whenever I made it. And this is, I think it's like spicy maple syrup. Yeah, that's what this is right here. Now, sometimes I get overzealous and I don't skip steps, but I like merge them or think ahead. Sometimes. And this was one of those times. So for sweet potatoes, mind you, I really like mashed potatoes. And once again, I can mash these potatoes myself. So for sweet potatoes, no, they're just sweet potatoes. You know, these just look like potatoes that you mashed up and you go, all right, eat, because they're supposed to be. Now me, I mixed the syrup and the potatoes. I didn't like the syrup. So once again, I think I was on the phone with my nephew. It could have been a conversation, you know, inner conscience or whatever. And I'm just eating it like, I like potatoes. Like I love mashed potatoes, and I like sweet potatoes. I want to eat this, but I can't. I don't want to eat this because this is flawed sweet potatoes. This is nasty. It's yucky. I don't want to eat this. So I'm just, once again, I have that you know, I wasn't one of those kids, but I hear stories about these kids who are like, I don't want to eat my vegetables, and the parents make them and they're like crying, you know, bawling their eyes out, and they're just like, broccoli's garbage. You know, that was me with the sweet potatoes. I ate it, and I just felt dead inside. That's the sweet potato story. Now the chowder, like I said, I didn't cook much. I'm learning, I'm getting there. I don't even watch cooking shows like that. Unless it's holiday season, then Hulu sets me up with the hookup. Now this is Chowder. Shout out to everybody who watched Chowder back in the day. That was my show whenever I was a child. I could do Chowder impressions. Not right now. Maybe for a different video. Doing an impression of my favorite like childhood cartoon characters. So this Chowder right here, I've never eaten Chowder before. I've never seen Chowder before. In real life, on film, nothing. I've never seen a picture before this one. So with this chowder, it says like your desired consistency. It's thick, it's thin. They don't release thin, but they're like, if it's thick enough, if it's too thick. I've never seen chowder before. So how am I gonna know if it's too thick or if it's my desired consistency? So one of my roommates, she's like, you know, she likes cooking and all that. Baking is like her passion or something like that. She walks over and she's like, that chowder looks a little thick. She said something like, you know what you're doing or something. And I'm looking at her like, I don't know if it's thick. And she's like, do you need to add extra milk? And I'm thinking, no, I don't need to add extra milk. If the recipe doesn't say extra milk from HelloFresh, the HelloFresh gods never make a mistake. So why would I add more milk? Because I think she said it was like too runny. I don't know. She just said like to add more milk. So I'm eyeballing it. I already added like a little bit of water, so I'm eyeballing it. And I'm like, I'm adding a little bit more milk. So I add the milk, and it's super thick. Like you're supposed to be able to like, not drizzle it, but you know, spread it on toast. This toast, it was more of spreading, you know, I've been using chunky peanut butter for the first time in my life because one of my roommates double dips in the creamy peanut butter. So my other roommate was like, you can use the chunky. So I'm using the chunky, and I didn't know, I've never seen chunky before. Like after you open it up, I've never seen that. I didn't know like they had whole peanuts in there, cut up peanuts, and you're spreading it on there. So imagine spreading chunky peanut butter onto toasted bread. So it's just, or like it gets on there, but it's not blended in or it's not melded with the bread. So you just gotta get some more. But this whole time, as I'm putting it on there, I'm thinking, she knows I didn't cook. She knows I haven't cooked before this apartment. Why is she asking me if this chowder is my desired consistency? I don't know. Anyway, Thanks for watching. That's my cooking videos. I'm pretty sure it's way longer than I expected. And for anybody who's like checking out new content, it's way longer than you probably want. I'm not gonna cut this into 2 videos because these are like the 5 first cooking shorts. I want them to, I think this is 6. I planned on 4, and I added 5, but I might have said 6 today. I'm just going. I'm ecstatic. You know, I like talking to the camera because, you know. So I hope you like it, and if you made it to the end of the video, please subscribe for more. Thank you. Goodbye.